All right, I guess nobody's gonna comment in my chat. um, there's nobody to say hi to. But anybody who's watching and not participating in the chat, hello. I am going on here tonight, kind of on short notice. Actually, very much on short notice. Tony Scaturo? Tony Scaturo, what's up, dude? What's up? My man Caleb in the house. Okay, now everybody's kind of rolling up in here. Okay. What's up, Hina Williams? Renee? All right. All right, G. Carter. Kel's Love and Life. It's good to see you. Kel's Love and Life. I'm enjoying your comments in my in the the comments section after these videos are posted. You don't catch the lives, but yeah. And I appreciate everybody for logging on yesterday for yesterday's live. I apologize for that as well. At the same time, hey, Mandy Bella. But tonight is going to be of a very different tone, sort of. Tonight I'm well, what else is new? But I'm a little pissed off. I'm a little angry. Hey, Jack's mom. Hey, Lauren Elizabeth. If you guys can see the title, I'm sure a few of you at least have been following this case. And it is, I'm just now really hearing about it. And so I thought two things. I thought I could either I could either wait, do a little homework on it, and then prepare something, or I could do what my what my diehards count on me to do, which is pretty much kind of wing it and go over it with you guys, so you guys get a fresh reaction from me. Now, I watched some of this video in another group a few days ago, and then but I was laying in bed, going through my phone, getting notifications and answering, so I didn't get to pay a lot of close attention to it. But then my friend Annie and her channel 10 to Life, who I hope many of you remember. And for those of you who don't remember, I hope many of you are subscribers to her and follow her channel. And I am a moderator for 10 to Life. And there's actually only 2 of us moderators. But I was in her chat, and she had almost at one point 3,000 people in her chat. And most everybody was, there was hardly a troll there. The last time I checked, the video got 1.3 thousand likes and 10 dislikes. And the reason why that is because she did a hell of a job covering this. And not only that, the reason why is because she genuinely cares. And I can vouch for that 100%, because I had barely known her. I had just become a moderator for her channel. And a lot of you already know this, but I had an issue. I had a problem. I had a friend come to me with a problem. Well, I had a friend cry out for help for a problem. I came to aid. And first person I contacted was Annie, and Annie did not so much as hesitate, but came into this situation and really, really helped me with it. And she was completely engaged in it. And so I can vouch for this person's heart. And I could see how appalled she was. And we're going to go over some video footage, guys, which you guys know me to do. And we're going to go over some video footage. And this video footage is going to be very, very difficult to watch. This little girl is literally screaming. And this little girl, I don't know all the details. I know that she is 9 years old. Her name is Sophie Long. She lives in Texas. I know that I believe, like I said, this case is so fresh to me that I listened to Annie's live and I moderated her chat, but I could hardly pay attention to what she was saying because I was so busy moderating her chat. But from what I gather of this case so far is that there is a custody fight between the mother and the father. The mother lives with her mother, Sophie's. Well, I should say, from the way I understand it, Sophie's grandmother lives with Sophie's mother, and Sophie's mother's boyfriend. And I don't know for sure. I don't know if they have joint custody or if he had custody and a judge ordered and awarded the mother custody. But we're going to see footage of them the father trying to give Sophie over to her mother. And she is adamant, to say the least. It's an understatement to use the word adamant as to what Sophie's feelings are about this and how she is and not going. She's just not going to go. It's one of the most I felt as I was watching this again tonight, I felt as though it needed me to go over this footage um, and give my thoughts on it and break it down the way that I do other videos, because I need you guys, my loyal listeners, um, to be aware of what's going on here, much less anyone else. This little girl's cry for help needs to be heard worldwide. This needs a lot of attention, and she needs help. I am convinced of it. Um, Now, understand something. There is a lot of situations when I even commented on the video when it was posted in the other group, and I said the thing that complicates these cases is that a lot of times one parent will coach the child to say things and accuse the other parent of heinous things and use the child and custody of the child and the fight for the child as a way to hurt the former spouse. And it is a very common thing, as appalling as that is. So there's that to keep in mind. But I'm going to sit here and tell you right now that I do not see that being the case here. And this girl is she is genuinely scared, but I love her tenacity. This girl is also very inspiring in her own way. She's extremely strong and she's extremely brave. I have a respect for this little girl, and she demands that respect, and it is fascinating. It's fascinating, and it makes you want to fight for her. It makes you want to defend her. It makes you want to stand up for Sophie. So I'm going to sit here right now and tell you that I stand with Sophie. So I'm going to go ahead and start going over this video with you guys. And now make sure, now what I'm going to do while the video is playing, I'm going to drop a couple of links. If I have any of my mods here, Caleb, I want you, if you can, please. I think you're the only mod I see in here right now, because I know I've gone back to going to these late nights. But again, this one was on the fly, guys. So I do apologize, but I'm grateful that you're here. Caleb, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop some links for the family's GoFundMe. Now, according to Annie from 10 to Life, that this GoFundMe link is legitimate and it does go to his legal fees in order to help Sophie. But before I do all that, I want you guys to see this footage and I want you guys to make your own assessment of what you see here. But I'm here to tell you that it is not easy to watch. It's. I mean, I felt like somebody had my guts and was, you know. So where there's also going to be, before I start the video, there's also going to be a hearing tomorrow, I believe, at 10 a.m. I think it's Eastern. But there will be a video at 10 a.m. and I'm going to go and I'm going to try to get all of that information. I'm going to try to get those links as I'm playing the video and I'm going to drop them. So Caleb or any other mods that are in my chat right now, please copy them and then continue to drop them in the chat. I would really, really appreciate that.
can't just wait till I get there.
I'm saying, I'm obligated to bring you. It's your mom's visit time. Okay? You can get in the car, we can drive.
Wait.
Yes.
Actually, she can't wait. She's not gonna sing.
Ready? Come on, let's go. Come on, let's get in the car. Soph, come on. Sophie.
Can't physically pick her up and
I know.
Well, she can't do those things if Mr. Jake isn't there anyway.
Ready to go or what?
Or she'll bring someone else here.
Someone else where?
Someone else.
To where?
She'll bring another boy that one of his stupid friends.
No one's supposed to be there but your mom and your grandma.
That's what she says.
Okay, do not scratch yourself. Do not scratch yourself. Scratch yourself. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. Your grandma's gonna make sure that she doesn't bring anybody and that nobody touches you.
No. She's gonna make sure that she doesn't have to sleep outside, and she's gonna follow whatever my mom says.
Do you really believe that your grandma was some strange guy?
I'm going to play that one more time, guys.
Your grandma's gonna make sure that she doesn't bring anybody and that nobody touches you.
No. She's gonna make sure that she doesn't have to sleep outside, and she's gonna follow whatever my mom says.
Do you really believe that your grandma would let some strange guy or Mr. Jake come there and touch you?
If my mom says.
Okay. Scratch yourself. It's not healthy. It's not healthy.
Now watch this little girl right here. What she does is she's scratching herself out of sheer nerves. That's not an uncommon thing for a child to do. Now, I'm not a mental health professional in any way, shape, or form, and I'm not a mental health professional when it comes to children, especially. So I don't know, but I have seen that before. I've seen kids scratch themselves. I did that as a kid, as a matter of fact, when I was very, very troubled. This little girl is definitely, in my opinion, definitely not putting on an act, and you will see exactly what I mean. One of the first things that you'll notice, that you'll ask yourself, and it's okay. It's okay. You want to be objective, because the thing is when you're accusing someone of sexual abuse, you better be damn sure. You know, when you accuse someone of any type of sexual assault in any way, shape, or form, that's one of the many things that you better be damn sure about before you start throwing accusations like that around. Now, when it comes to a child, you have to be very careful, because children, like I said, they can be coached. But I'm not seeing anything to indicate that this child has been coached in any way, shape, or form. Again, I'm not an expert. This is just my opinion.
No one's supposed to be there but your mom and your grandma.
That's That's what she says.
Okay, do not scratch yourself. Do not scratch yourself. Do not scratch yourself. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. Your grandma's going to make sure that she doesn't bring anybody and that nobody touches you.
No.
This is interesting right here. This is very interesting right here. Listen to what she says about her grandmother.
She's going to make sure that she doesn't have to sleep outside, and she's going to follow whatever my mom says.
She's just said she's going to make sure, talking about her grandmother, she's going to make sure that she doesn't have to sleep outside. So she's going to follow whatever my mom says, is what she just said right there. I'm going to say that one more time. She doesn't want to sleep outside, so she's going to follow whatever my mom says. So that obviously indicates to me that this woman lives with her mom. She probably overhears her mom threaten her and say, well, if you want to sleep here tonight, then you're going to do this, or you. So, I mean, and that's a number of possibilities. You know, we have to be objective here because we don't know. We don't have ears there, but that's what's coming off. I mean, that's what basically she's quoting and saying. She doesn't want to sleep outside, so she's going to follow whatever my mom says. I mean,
Do you really believe that your grandma would let some strange guy or Mr. Jake come there and touch you?
If my mom says.
now she said right there, do you believe, hold on, let's hear it one more time.
Do you really believe that your grandma would let some strange guy or Mr. Jake come there and touch you?
Do you really believe that your grandma would let some strange guy just come in there and touch you? Now, that's the thing. If she's asking her a direct question right there, that could be argued as being coached, but I think that there's way too much other things here to indicate that she is not.
My mom says.
Okay.
Right. Again, Caleb, me and you were on the same page, brother. Like you were typing it as I said it. She definitely made a very, very leading. She definitely stated a very leading question. So that's not good on her. But again, these aren't professionals either. And they are filming her with a camera, but this is after, you know. And according to Annie, she was saying that this was under the father's attorney's advice is to film her reaction, to record her reaction to having to go to her mother's residence because of the judge's orders.
Every person always claiming the best protector of kids. Stop! Stop it!
This is not your choice, Sophie.
Stop!
Not your choice.
Ow!
This is not your choice. Move your hands, Sophie.
I think her hands.
Is your hand stuck or are you not moving it? Sophie? Listen, the judge has made a
What's happening to you? Here, move your hand.
Sophie,
No!
that is not how you speak to your grandparent. Would you speak to your father or your grandfather that way?
Here, let's put the seat up.
Now I had to take off my these are Beats, and I have to, there's no way around it. I have to, in order to not get an echo, I have to, and in order to hear the dialogue, I I have to have the volume all the way up so that you guys can hear it, and so I can hear the dialogue. And when she screams like that, I have to take my earphones off. There's no way around it. But as you can see already, she is very, very intent of not getting out of that car. This is obviously her father's vehicle. That's the grandmother right here trying to physically pull her out of the vehicle. And she is resisting with everything that she has, short of being abusive. Now, this is not an angry child. This is not an angry child, folks, because this child is not kicking. This child is not clawing. This child is not spitting. This child is merely trying to protect herself. That to me is extremely telling. This is not a bad kid who's just going to make up stories to get what she wants. Now, guys, you're going to have questions, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. You're going to have questions in this chat about this case and about what's going on. I urge you to refer over to 10 to Life's channel and watch her last two videos, the live stream she did tonight, and to watch the video that she made prior to that, because that's going to have all the information on this case that you need. And while this is playing, I think I'm going to try to drop links. I'll drop links to the group if you guys want, and I'll drop a link to the group, and I'll drop a link to Annie's channel, so that you guys can get all of the information that you're looking for regarding this case. And as this goes on, I'm going to get this information too. Like I said, I just thought it would be interesting to go live with you guys tonight, and we discover this together. I like to do that with you guys. It's kind of how I like to do things here. I like things to be as fresh to me as they are to you, as best as I can. So, yeah, brother preach. I agree with you, man. Well, here's the thing. Now that this is playing, what's going on is the reason why this child is crying is because she is saying that men come over to her house and that are friends of her mom's boyfriend, and her mom's boyfriend touches her and molests her inappropriately, and sexually molests her, and he allows his friends to do it, and the mother just actually watches. There are details that this little girl has disclosed that are very, very, very disturbing. And so it's important right now that this little girl at least is heard, because what she's saying is happening is awful. She has brothers that she claims is happening to them too. She has a brother who's 7 years old that was recently tested, and he came back positive for having marijuana and cocaine in his system. A 7-year-old boy, her younger sibling. So this, as you guys are hearing me explain this, are probably the most disgusted you've been in a long time hearing this. And that's where I'm at. and we're going to hear this little girl's pleas. We're going to hear her and watch her be extremely adamant about not getting out of that car and going to that house.
No.
We can't put the seats down and we can't put the seatbelt. I don't want to put hands in there, sweetie.
Stop. Stop it.
Sophie, you know, sometimes we have to do things we don't want to, but when judges and policemen say this is what we have to do, we have to do it.
I'm not going.
So where's her medication? Where?
Back here.
You know what? When I dropped you off, we had a really good time. Remember that?
No. Stop pushing me. Stop pushing
Honey, I
me. You're
have to-
hurting my elbow.
I'm not hurting you. I have to undo your seat.
We have to do this. I'm sorry.
No, you don't.
Yes, we
Yes,
actually
we
No,
do.
you don't.
We
Yes.
do.
No, you don't.
Don't watch your hands.
I'm gonna. Sophie Elise, that is not appropriate.
Stop.
Please move. I am not moving. This is exactly what our attorney said. Sophie, come here. This is ridiculous.
Call the police. Somebody needs to observe.
No, no. Sophie, you have to come.
Doing absolutely nothing to assist
You
our
asked
daughter.
us to stay in the car.
You have to come.
No.
You asked us to
Get
stay in
out.
the
You
car.
have
Stay
to
in the
come,
car.
We
Sophie.
talked to her
I
right now.
have talked to her the whole trip.
You know what? I have
We've
dropped,
had
when
3
I
hours to
dropped
talk to her
you
to
off,
go
we had a
along.
really
You were
good
3 hours late.
time.
That's right. You did have 3 hours to
Yeah, you know how long it took to get her the car? What do you
Yeah.
thank her?
Stop.
Against her
You
will.
better stop right now. She's pulling my legs. Help me. Help me.
Stop! What are you doing? No, that's just not okay. This is not okay. Stop, Kim.
No.
Call the police. Not going anywhere.
You have to come.
No.
He won't open the door.
You won't open the
What are
door?
you talking about? I got the door open. You're yanking
No,
her
that
out.
door.
Because you have a door open already.
Please open the
Open
door.
the door.
Yes, 4267.
This is insane. So wrong, Michael.
I didn't do anything. Kim, you're hurting
This is what our attorney advised us to do.
her. Yeah, but it's hurting her.
No,
okay?
it's not hurting her. She's putting on the fit that you asked her to put on.
I didn't ask her to put on a fit.
Sophie.
Now, I want you guys to understand something about what's going on right here. One of them is filming too. The grandmother is trying to pull Sophie out of the car, and the mom is filming with her phone. Okay. And the mom is filming with her phone, and she's also saying that her attorney advised her to just physically take her out of the car if she needs to. So there's probably no law against doing it with force. But here's the thing, though. Here's a very, very interesting fact about this. After this took place, Sophie was hospitalized from the injuries that she sustained from having to be physically pulled out of that car. That happened. So she sustained some pretty serious injuries from it. And again, the screaming, I'm sorry. I know that it's a lot. I can't with these headphones in my ears because I can't turn the volume down. So I have to take them off. But we're going to keep going, guys. And we're going to get to a point that you're going to see a lot of very telling things.
We didn't need to come.
I don't. No, I can't. No,
Why can't you?
because I can't. I don't want you. No.
Can you, Sophie, can you
Why don't you talk to her calmly?
Yes, I do not want to come. I'm not going back there.
It's you and Grandma. I told her.
Because
Really, I told her.
Can you talk to me? Come on, we used to get along really, really good. We had a really, really
Okay,
good
please
relationship.
step out of my vehicle. If you can't get her to come out of the vehicle at her own will,
We
I don't
had
see
a
that this is
really, really
appropriate.
good relationship. I dropped you off. We had fun. We played Yahtzee. We did all kinds of stuff. What happened?
Just talk to her.
Nothing.
Something did.
No. Then I had no. I'm not coming
But why?
because I don't want to be here anymore.
Why not though?
Why
You don't want to
are
be
you
there.
doing this?
You don't want to be there.
This poor girl is acting like she's in a nightmare. What she's doing is, if you notice, the grandmother is being very patronizing towards her. The grandmother is patronizing her quite a bit. And as you're going to see moving forward, Sophie is a very, very, very intelligent little girl. She has a talent for reasoning, and she has a talent for being able to state how she feels very directly with a 9-year-old's vocabulary. But she states, she puts up a good argument. I'm when I watch this, I'm extremely impressed by her. And you're going to see, also, one thing I notice is she begins to panic whenever the grandmother asks her why. Whenever she says, "I'm not going," and the grandmother says, "Why?" she becomes panicked. So it's very, very interesting to me because she doesn't even want to say it. She doesn't even want to say it. The thought of what she is going to face when she gets back into that home scares the daylights out of her.
I'm smart. I know why you're doing this.
What are we doing?
I'm just talking to you.
No, I knew you think Daddy did something. No, he didn't.
I never said anything about your dad.
Well, that's how it seems. That comes out to me. Well, that's how you're acting.
Sophie, you're allowed to spend time.
I know. I don't want to.
But I'm just trying to understand.
Now, did you hear her? She said, "I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing." Oh, wait, am I muted? No, I'm not. Okay. She says, "I know what you're doing." And she says, "I know that you think Daddy did something and he didn't." And I'm guessing that what they're doing is counter arguing and saying that abuse takes place there. Probably just some straight up. Now, there's attempts of gaslighting here. There's definitely some attempts of gaslighting, but serious manipulation. Deep manipulation coming from the grandmother, as you're going to see. But the little girl is like, "I know, like, I see you. I see you. I know what you're doing." So it's very, very interesting to see her, and she's not budging. Like, she is not budging. And yet she still manages to not become in any way, shape, or form violent towards anyone.
Because we had really, really lots of fun, and that was just a couple months ago. So I'm just trying to understand why you don't want to spend grandma's
Well, I
time.
would have come if you just let me come peacefully, but you didn't. You tried to pull me out of the car.
No, you wouldn't come peacefully. You wouldn't get out of your seatbelt. You tried to.
Well, I don't want to come.
Sophie, we love you very much.
I do
just
too,
want
but
to
I
spend
don't
time
want to
with you.
come.
Can you help me understand why?
Okay, before I forget, I want to remind real quick any mods that I have in the chat right now. That girl, I see that you're here. Thank you for being here. Any mods that I have in the chat right now, please do not drop my PayPal link. That is not what this is about. If you're going to give any money, even any 1 red cent, please click on the GoFundMe link and donate it to Sophie's father to get some decent legal representation. I mean, Corey Feldman even tweeted about this little girl, and the GoFundMe is now at a little over 100,000, which is incredible. But it is, but Corey Feldman in his tweet, he was saying 200,000, double that would probably cover a great legal team to represent Sophie here and Sophie's dad. So if you're going to donate, if you feel like giving any money at all whatsoever, like I said, mods, do not drop my PayPal link. Just please do it in the GoFundMe link for Sophie and Sophie's dad.
I don't want to come.
But why? We're just asking questions. I'm not.
Well, I can tell. I'm smart. I can tell how when you're asking questions, I can tell what you mean.
I know.
She just said, no, the GoFundMe is no longer frozen, Kendall G. She just said that I know when you talk like this, I know what you're doing. I'm smart. You know, she doesn't know the word patronize yet. Otherwise, she would have said, you're fucking patronizing me, lady. And she's sitting there and she's saying, I'm smart. I know what you're doing. I know how you're talking to me right now. I know what you're doing when you talk like that. Basically calling her out, saying, that's not how you talk, lady. I'm on to you. And that right there makes me on to her. I know exactly. As soon as she said that, when I watched this video like closely for the first time about 30 minutes ago, right? Well, no, about 30 minutes before I went live, I should say. And as soon as Sophie said that, I was like, yeah, I'm on to you too, lady. I'm on to you too. So from this point on, I'm looking at this lady like, uh-huh.
Yeah, so you,
What do you think we mean?
I can tell it from your faces and your voices.
Tell what, baby?
Just, I have a choice, and I choose that I'm not ready to come.
That's not choice, baby.
I am my own person, and I can choose what I want to.
I love that. Yo, I love that. That little 9-year-old girl, she's already aware of her God-given right to have control over her own body. My body's nobody's body but mine. She already knows about this. She knows it instinctively. And I love that. And I love how she's standing up for herself. I love that she's sitting there and she's looking them dead in the face and going, nah, dude.
And I'm going to. I'm not coming.
Unfortunately, that's not how it
It's
works.
not your choice. It's the
Well, too bad. So sad. I'm not coming.
I'm just trying and understand why.
We're really concerned about you. We miss you.
Well, I can tell you one thing that you shouldn't be concerned about because everything's fine. I'm happy.
I believe you're happy. A happy kid can spend time with both of their parents, right?
Well, not when you're trying to pull me out of the car.
Come here, run.
No,
Come out on your own then.
no, you already did it.
So do you want to come or not want to come?
I do not want to come.
Okay, and why again?
Please stop.
Hey, Sophie, it's not appropriate to speak to your
Like, am I fucking speaking English, lady? I do not want to come. What are you not getting? Do you want to come or you don't want to come? Lady, what do you think I'm sitting here screaming about? I do not want to come. It's not going to happen.
parents like that. I wouldn't allow you to talk to your father like that.
Well, I don't because he doesn't try to pull me out of the car when I'm sitting in the car with you.
Okay, Sophie, that's because I let you know.
He does too,
Okay, then do.
but I'm not going out. Okay, I don't care if I have to sleep here. I'm not going. I'm not going to sleep either. I'm staying here and I'm not going.
I'm really sad to hear this. When we left in July, we had a super fun time. I loved it so much.
I'm
This
not
really
going.
pregnant to the post family that she wanted to see you open. I told her we could FaceTime her. Nobody was excited to see you.
Well,
Everyone misses you and loves you, Sophie. We're just trying to understand what has happened.
nothing has happened.
But this isn't how you treat
I
people.
finally decided I can speak up and say that I'm not going.
Who told you to say that?
Me.
Yo, I love that. She was like, I finally decided, I finally decided that I don't have to do anything I don't want to do, and I'm not going with you. I get to say what happens to my body. I get to do that. You don't get to do that no more. Looking them dead in the face. And what's crazy too, man, is you can hear the manipulation kind of getting to her a little bit. Think about it. These people have been doing this shit to her whole life. She's been on this planet 9 years, man. 9 years is a long time to learn stuff. Yeah, she's a little girl. She doesn't know anything yet. But 9 years, you got to give a smart person credit. 9 years is a long time to learn stuff. So you're looking at a little girl right here that's got some fortitude, man. Some straight fortitude. And she's standing up. Dad isn't saying a word. Dad and the girlfriend, or I guess that's his girlfriend or whoever's with him, they're just filming. They're just like, go ahead. Go ahead. I can't wait. I can't wait to show this to the judge. You know, like she's doing her own thing. She's fighting her own battle. She hasn't thrown a punch. She hasn't thrown a kick. This little girl is tough. She knows she's got to keep herself under a certain level of control if this is going to work out for her. That is a survival instinct. She is practicing logic and rationality. A 9-year-old kid is basically surviving her way out of that shitty situation. And all that makes me want to do is stick out my hand and help. It's all it makes me want to do. This little girl is inspiring.
And I know
your
case
choice.
you
This is
wanted
your
to
choice.
know.
I'm just letting you know that it's not going to be your choice for very much longer.
I'm not
It's
going.
actually not your choice now.
I'm not going.
Hey, Sophie, I love you very much, and I'm really concerned about you, and I just want to spend some time with you.
Well, I'm going to tell you this again. You shouldn't be.
I'm your mom. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to love you. And
I still worry about my daughters, all of them, and my son.
Well,
I wouldn't be a very good mom if I didn't worry about you.
Well, good thing I'm standing right.
Now, I don't want to toss judgment, but let's think about that situation if it's accurate, because I'm still not 100% sure what's accurate and what's not. Okay, I don't want to mislead anybody with that, but I'm not 100% sure what's accurate and what isn't. But if the grandma is staying with the mom, what's the situation that put her? What led to that scenario? What is the situation there exactly? Why is the grandmother living with the mom? And if Sophie's telling the truth, then basically the daughter has that power over her own mother. Sophie's mom has that power over her own mother, to where she's afraid of being kicked out of that home. So she's not going to have anywhere to go. But she just said, all of my daughters, I still worry about all of my daughters and my son. So how many kids does this lady have? Right? And she's living with one of the kids who's threatening on a regular basis, according to Sophie, to boot her out of the house. Does that say something about her? Not really, not without all the facts, in all fairness, but it makes you think, does it not? Makes you wonder what's going on in that situation. That's if, let's be honest, that's if what we're hearing is actually accurate, because we don't know. But
Sitting right here to tell you that there's nothing wrong. I'm happy, and you don't need to be concerned about me.
Remember all the fun we had? All the walks and talks, and don't you want to go to that again? We would go with the boys, and they would go play, and we would sit for our walks and talks.
No,
Remember that? I used to look forward to that.
we can have a play date.
I'll try that, and then you wouldn't come for my play date.
What do you mean I wouldn't come for your play date?
I stopped back the next day. You said we could have a play date, and you said not today, maybe another time.
No, I don't want to have a sleepover. I want to have a play date.
That's all that was going to be.
listen to this little girl setting boundaries, dude. Setting boundaries. Like, she's sitting there, grandma's she's patronizing her. Look at how she's looking at her, too. Look at Sophie's face right now, freeze framed, right? She's looking at her like, what the hell are you talking about, lady? What kind of shit are you trying to pull right now? What are you trying to pull, lady? Grandma's sitting there trying to manipulate her and say, oh, well, you don't want to have a play date anymore. I asked you to have a play date. You didn't want to have a play date. She said, no. That ain't what I said. I said, I didn't want to have a sleepover play date. But we can have a play date anytime. Anytime you want, Grandma, we can hang out. I love my grandma. I want to hang out with my grandma, but I'm not sleeping over where Grandma sleeps, because fucked up shit takes place there. And I'm not subjecting myself to it anymore. Not one fucking time more. This stops. And she is straight up setting those boundaries. Give it to her. You know what I'm saying? Give her that respect. That's amazing. That's amazing to me.
I didn't know that. And also, what there's many times that you said something and then didn't happen. Also,
Now, before she starts this, also, because she goes into some more stuff here, I want to be fair here. I like to be as unbiased as possible. Now I'm being honest. I do believe Sophie here, but what I'm saying is, now this is what grandmothers do, right? Grandmothers, parents, we manipulate kids sometimes when they're being difficult. Do we not? Do we not manipulate them to eat their green beans? Do we not manipulate them into cleaning up their rooms? Do we not manipulate them into helping out around the house? Come on. That's what you do. You outsmart. You outsmart them because you know what's better for you, what's good for them more than they know what's good for themselves, right? You know exactly what is best for your child better than they know for themselves. But this is not a case where that is happening, because there's always a level of trust, right? There's always a certain level of trust that a child has to their elder, to their immediate elder, whether it be a grandparent or a parent, someone who lives with them, who's an adult that lives in their home and watches over them and takes some sort of responsibility for that child. That child has a certain trust with them. They can be talked into things. They can be reasoned with. That can happen because that child still believes, a part of that child still believes and counts on that adult to look out for them. That's not happening here. That's not happening here even a little bit. There's zero trust towards these adults coming from that little girl. To me, that is extremely telling. Extremely telling. This is not a dumb kid. This isn't even a naive kid, as sad as that is. All kids are supposed to be naive. You rob a kid of being naive? Shit. Well, God help you. Tweety Bird 2020, I absolutely agree with you.
there's many times that you said something and then didn't happen. So I could have been like so sleepy now.
Like what?
No, why don't anyone believe me? No one.
Well, you know what, Sophie? You're only 9 years old, and I know you think you know everything, but at 9 years old,
I never
still
said
have to
I don't
listen
know
to adults.
anything.
Adults know what's best, and we have to listen to the.
Sophie's not buying, dude. I love that. Sophie's not buying. I know you think that you know everything. You're only 9 years old, but I know you think you know everything. And she fires back. I never said that I think I know anything. That's exactly what she said. I never said that I think I know anything. The fuck are you trying to pull here, lady? When did I say that? Like, I see you putting words in my mouth. I see you trying to make me feel like I'm crazy. I see you trying to make me feel like I'm a bad person and I'm trying to manipulate you. You're using manipulation to try to convince me that I'm actually trying to manipulate you. I'm being very clear and very simple about one clear and simple thing, and that is that I am not getting out of this car and getting into your car. That shit is not happening. She hasn't swayed from that point in any way, shape, or form. She has stuck to that one thing. She is fixated on that one objective, which is to stay away from that household. This is not a child just being difficult.
Mommy's, daddy's, judges, policemen.
No,
You do. We as adults even have to listen to judges.
I do know that, but I am not going.
She's like, I know the law, bitch. I know I'm supposed to listen to judges and policemen. That don't change the fact that I ain't getting out of this motherfucking car. I know what judges are for. I know what I'm supposed to do. That don't mean I'm doing it. This little girl is basically saying, if you got to put me in jail, that's cool. But I'm not going in that house.
So we can go for our walks. You were so happy. Remember on the way down we stopped
That's
for a
'cause I-
special car?
Because I felt like I had to. Well, I'm happy with you, but no, not with Mommy.
Do you know why?
She just said, I'm happy with you, but not with Mommy. And I think what she did was, I think the grandmother stuck her hand out for her to hold her hand. And she loves her grandmother. She genuinely loves her grandma, man. And I feel like she probably thinks of her grandmother as being a victim of this scenario as well. She stated that earlier. She stated, well, she's afraid of not being allowed to sleep in the house, so she follows everything that my mom says. Those words came out of her mouth when we first started watching this, guys. This little girl, knowing that her grandmother is trying to manipulate her out of that car to put her into an environment that she's afraid of, that she should be trusting to protect her from it, is actually feeling empathy for her grandmother. She's actually feeling empathy for her. I love you, Grandma, but I'm telling you, I'm not getting out of this car.
I can guarantee you he's going to touch you.
Yes, I mean, he is really right. Why don't you believe me?
What? You were
Why
right?
don't you believe
Who's
me?
touching you? That's okay. So who's touching you? No, I do want to know because I care about you. I do want to know. So who's touching you? Who's been touching you?
Now, I want to make the observation here that I don't think that Sophie believes that her grandmother is aware of what's going on. She's pleading with her to try to tell her what's happening. And you hear her grandmother saying, who's touching you? Just tell me who's doing it. Just tell me who's doing it. Who's touching you? And she's pleading with her saying, why don't you believe me? Why don't you believe me? So what she feels right here is I'm getting the impression that the grandmother is merely complacent. I mean, if this kind of thing is going on in her house or where she lives, under the roof of where she sleeps, Well, she's got to be aware of something, unless she's making some sort of subconscious effort to not be aware of it, to turn a blind eye to it, to be complacent to it.
And mommy watches it. And mommy watches it happen. And it always makes me feel bad about myself.
Listen to that again, guys.
And mommy watches it. And mommy watches it happen. And it always makes me feel bad about myself.
She said, Mommy always watches it happen, and it always makes me feel bad about myself. She's crying. She's looking her grandmother in the eye, and she's telling her exactly what's going on. I mean, if this is true, this is as horrific as it gets.
No, I do want to know because I care about you. I do want to know. So who's touching you? Who's been touching you?
And mommy watches it. And mommy watches it happen. And it always makes me feel bad about myself. Baby.
What does he do?
Like, touches it. And scratches it. One time I woke up and there was blood in my underwear. I'm telling you the truth.
I'm not.
She just said that she would wake up and there'd be blood in her underwear. Now that, I don't know. My little girl's period didn't come that early. I remember being a kid, and I had a friend that was a girl, and she was about 11, and she had her first in the public pool, actually, and that must have been devastating for her. That must have been mortifying. But so I guess it's possible, but she clearly feels that there's something very, very wrong with it. And she's clearly associating it. She's clearly associating the blood in her underwear with something that has been happening to her. There's nothing unclear about that to me.
I am not saying you're not.
And mommy's been always feel bad about myself, and I don't like to fight him or any of it. I'm not going. I'm tired of it.
Listen, if you felt so bad about yourself, how did you get the school B in the play when you were very young? Did gymnastics? You did all kinds of fun.
Listen to this shit, okay? Now, when I first heard this, I got fired up. The grandmother does not get a pass with me.
Listen, if you felt so bad about yourself, how did you get the school B in the play when you were very young? Did gymnastics? You did all kinds of fun things.
Because all my friends said to do it. And I wanted to.
But you had fun doing it, didn't you?
Yeah, that doesn't mean
Now, did you hear that? She said, if you felt so bad about yourself, this is the grandmother talking. If you felt so bad about yourself, how did you get the lead in the school play? Now, you know how I took that? You know how I took that? I took that like she knows that mom is filming with her phone, And I feel like she is trying to make her out to be the little actress. Listen to the little actress. She got the lead in the school play, and I'm going to get her to admit it on camera that she got the lead in the school play. I see what the fuck she's doing. I see right through that shit. I know exactly what that lady is doing right there. I see right through it. Because that little girl's smart, but I'm smart too. I'm smart too. You all are smart. I know you saw that. I know you heard that. How did you get the lead in the school play? Fuck out of my face with that shit. I saw what you just did there. Shut the fuck up.
Anything.
You had fun at the beach. You could do your back walkovers.
Well, that doesn't mean they didn't make me feel bad about myself. Why? I'm trying to tell you something.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
I'm not going.
So what
I'll
else?
hang
makes
out
you
with you,
feel
but
bad?
alone.
What else makes you feel bad? Because before
I'm
we
done. I'm done.
before I dropped you off.
No.
And everything was good. Everything was good when we dropped you off. Just trying to understand.
Hi.
Your grandma found you did? What? Remember when you left her this summer and you bought that card at the store?
Yes.
Do you remember what it said?
Yes.
I don't. You tell me. I know you picked it out, but I don't.
Why is that bad? So we came out last tell me that you left her.
Why do you just come up with these weird reasons?
I love you. Yeah, I love you very, very much. And I really miss you. And I just want to go for a little walk with you.
No, yeah.
I was in here and trying to pull it. I think it's cool. The car.
Yeah. Yeah, so bring it back to Waco. She reduces the over the day on the property, like it's 2 hours.
See, Karsten, you're saying this little girl is smarter than her grandmother. She is, at least on a natural level, I believe so. I'm gonna have to agree with you there in the sense that she is she's just on to everything that her grandmother's trying to pull. You know, she's on to it all. And it's very funny to me because what's going on is, and she's smarter in the sense of instinct. She's just naturally smarter because what's going on here is the grandmother is underestimating her. The grandmother is patronizing her, and she's just not buying into the patronization. And so she's but Sophie is you know, she's onto it. And the grandmother doesn't, because she underestimates her so much, doesn't see that she's onto it, so just keeps on doing it. So this entire time, as she's patronizing her, Sophie is just going along with that and being very clear. There's no disputing what Sophie's directive is here. There's absolutely no disputing what she is focused on and fixated on right here. She's not just being an angry, difficult kid in the slightest bit. She's not showing any of those signs. What she's showing is someone who is terrified of a particular thing, and to the point to where she will literally she'll go to jail. You could scare her with jail. You could scare her with anything you want, but she's not going back there.
Well, then how do you think I feel? I'm not angry. I'm angry, but I'm not angry about your thing. I think that I'm always passive and fair, and you always say that nothing happens. It's always not. Look. You're like,
It's not that Sophie has a caseworker, Tweety Bird, necessarily. Now, first of all, anybody, once CPS gets involved in any case whatsoever, there's a caseworker. So, yeah, she probably does have a caseworker. And but the thing is in a custody fight like this, and there's accusations of abuse and things like that, a child is automatically what do they say, appointed a what's called a guardian ad litem, and that guardian ad litem basically acts as representation, just basically representation for the child, basically the child's own attorney. This person's job, the guardian ad litem, is to strictly and simply look out for the best interest of the child, not taking dad's side, not taking mom's side. This is an adult assigned to speak on behalf of this child in order to protect that child. So I'm quite certain that she has a guardian ad litem appointed. And if she doesn't, they fucking better give her one real soon. Because if she doesn't, that pisses me off. I mean, that's what this child needs right now. This child needs someone who is qualified and who is in a position to speak on her behalf. So that is extremely, extremely important. Yeah, that's possible too, Tweety Bird 2020. That's possible too. Again, like I said, when CPS is involved in anything, there's a caseworker because it's a case. So somebody is assigned to work that case from CPS. So that's what's going on here, probably. Who knows? I don't know what the stipulations are on the custody agreement. I don't know any of those details. But again, I would refer you to 10 to Life's channel. I'm going to go ahead and drop that link real quick before I forget. So yeah. Hold on one second, guys. I'm sorry about that. Here, I'm gonna drop the link to the video actually where she explains the situation. So that's what I'm gonna do here. Oh man. There we go. Okay, so this is 10 to Life's video on Sophie Long, as far as the details that I don't have go. Sorry about that, guys. 1 second here. This is just about over. There's only a few seconds left. And that is Sophie in the hospital after that visit, or after that that ordeal that took place in that car. So I guess she sprained her ankle, maybe. Sorry, guys. Give me a second here. All right. And as you guys know, that, as I mentioned earlier, I should say, hi, the Finn. As I mentioned earlier, I should say that it's very, very difficult to watch Sophie in that position. It's very, very difficult to be in a position to where where it seems like we can't really do anything. But now again, the thing about that is, you guys know me. You guys know me, and you know that I'm real big on the whole innocent until proven guilty thing, and I'm not a speech expert. I'm not an expert on child behavior. I'm no professional in any way, shape, or form. I'm just a guy with a feeling, and I know that I talk poorly about this when it comes to other cases. I say people who just sit there and say, oh, they got a gut feeling, but it's more than a gut feeling. There was a lot of things that I explained just wouldn't make sense unless she was telling the truth. There was just too much. I mean, it's not like we went missing. That's not what we're doing. We're watching. We just watched 20 minutes worth of footage of a little girl who was hell-bent on not going with her own mother. Who doesn't want to go with their mom that bad? Unless something horrible is happening in that household. There's no way. There's just no way. This kid did not exhibit the behavior of a hateful, resentful, angry kid. She was trying to reason. She was saying, listen, this is what's going on. She was clearly upset about it, but she was composed to a certain degree. She was composed as much as she needed to be composed to get her point across. And I believe that to have been instinctual. I believe that to have been a survival instinct that caused her to be rational and logical in that scenario. Right, that girl, I believe you. I agree with you that it's a sign of child abuse. There's absolutely no way, to me, that a 9-year-old little girl would be that adamant about not going to her mother's, to her own mother's. I mean, the maternal bond between a mother and a daughter at 9 years old still is, I mean, that's mommy, man. That's mommy. No matter what is going on, daddy too. That's the thing, but it's rarely ever daddy over mommy. Mommy's always mommy. Mommy's always the one that's going to make you feel safe and tell you everything's going to be okay. Daddy's the one that's he's going to calm you down. Daddy's going to listen to you. But guess what? Daddy's going to go to mommy when something bad is going on, just like mommy's going to go to daddy. But obviously, for whatever reason, I'd love to know the circumstances of their marriage. And it's really funny because that rarely ever happens to me in cases. When we're talking about cases, that rarely ever happens to me where I really want to know what the home life was really, really like so much, because a lot of certain things, like when it comes to something like this, I you know, I don't know. I don't like to know too much about people's relationships unless, you're looking at the Watts case, then yeah, you kind of want to know because it helps you understand the crime better. When you look at, say, the Morphew case, you want to know. For me personally, I don't really care to know anything about Al and Tisha's relationship so much. I'm only really concerned about her and Gannon's because she killed Gannon. Now, obviously, it makes sense to try to understand it a little bit better when it comes to Al and Letitia's, because it's very possible that Letitia killed Gannon to hurt Al. We still don't know exactly what her motive was, other than she's just an asshole and she was shitty towards Gannon. But in a situation like this, I'm really interested in knowing what it was like for what split them up. Was she an abusive person towards him? Was he abusive towards her? Because obviously what's going on here, what she's accusing her of is actually watching while her boyfriend sexually assaults her 9-year-old daughter. So that's a hell of a thing to accuse somebody of. I mean, that's not just my mom doesn't know. This is something, I mean, think about that. Let's think about the mechanics of what would make a child come up with that story. I mean, doesn't it make more sense if you're trying to lie about something? Doesn't it make more sense to have less people involved so that it makes your lie more believable? Because it makes more people go, I don't know. It's her word against his. But she's going, no, dude, like it's him, his friends, and mom watches and lets it happen. She's not saying, oh, well, I wish mom knew and she would listen to me like she's doing with grandma. This is, I mean, you could wear a kid down. If a kid is lying, man, you could wear him down. Dad didn't even speak up. The mom at one point accused him of making her throw a fit, of coaching her and telling her, have her throw a fit. Saying, when mom gets here, just go nuts. Whatever you do, say no. That's what she's accusing him of on camera there. But his reaction, I even believed. He was like, I didn't do anything. I don't know why she's throwing a fit. I don't know. And the entire time he's being quiet. At no point, this is another thing. At no point in that video did she look at that camera. You're going to tell me a 9-year-old girl who's putting on a performance can't once in a while glance over, see if you know what I'm saying? That's what people do when they're putting on a performance for somebody. They glance over at him. They make a quick eye contact with him. She never did that with her dad. Her eyes never took off her grandmother and mother because she was so adamant of them understanding, I'm not fucking going with you. It's not going to happen. Am I the only one seeing it that way? Am I alone on that particular observation? I don't know, man. Listen, guys, I'm I'm going to drop 10 to Life's link to that video one more time. Please be sure to check it out. Get as much information out of that channel. That's the channel you want to go to for that information, guys. Make sure to follow her. I believe she plans on going live tomorrow. I believe she plans on going live tomorrow and streaming the court hearing. So if you all can, just be there in spirit for Sophie. And if anything, man, not just for the sake of protecting her, but as I said earlier, man, for the sake of respecting her. Tell me that video didn't earn your respect of this person as a person that could make up her own mind, man. This is somebody I'm gonna listen to. This is somebody whose word I'm gonna take some to some merit. It's gonna resonate with me. That person's word. Person looking you dead in the eye, telling you how this is going to go regarding that person's body and being. Not going to tell me where I'm going, motherfucker. Fuck off me. I love that. 9 years old. I'm telling you how this is going to go. I'm staying right here. That right there, those are not the characteristics of a liar, my friends. I don't like liars because they don't carry those kind of characteristics. Liars are people of low character. That is not a person of low character. So, on that note, my friends, I really appreciate you joining me tonight. And I realize that was difficult to watch, but I hope that your heart is as on fire for this little girl as mine is right now. So I'm going to be talking about this case more. I am going to be following it closely. I'm going to be hopefully working closely with Annie from 10 to Life on this case. And as far as spreading the word as much as I possibly can. So guys, I love you very much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I realize it's another late one, but it was important. So and mods, if you could drop that GoFundMe link one more time, I would really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you, Lauren Elizabeth. I agree 100%. If you got any loose change and you think that Sophie is somebody worth fighting for, reach into that pocket. Show her dad some love. Because there is a lot more to this case. There's a lot more to the legal aspects of this case that I don't know enough about to tell you, but I do highly recommend that you watch Annie's channel, 10 to Life, and watch the 2 videos that she's done on it. She did a video and she did a live stream, and she streamed the video live, but the last 2 that you're going to click on, the most recent, make sure you educate yourselves. And thank you, that girl. I love that you post these things. If you know anybody who's suffering from sexual assault and is afraid to talk, call that hotline right there. If you were one of those people, please call that hotline right there that girl posted, that I have posted across the screen. And I love you guys very, very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.